Well, thousands of fans came to the River City this year for the annual Gator Bowl.
Yeah, and although the event brought in tons of money, there were some issues with seating at the bowl game.
Our Eliza Powell is on your side tonight to explain what is going on.
Well, the Gator Bowl had a great turnout this year, but the Gator Bowl Association felt that it could have been even better if the city had installed 2,000 extra seats that they were contracted to do so.
Now, the association is getting more than $300,000 back for the loss in revenue, but it's a deal that's worked out for both the city and the association.
The reimbursement was less than the city would have had to have paid to put the seats in. So it was a net gain to the city by not having to put them in, and we broke even with the exact revenue that we would have gotten by having those seats to sell.
The additional seats were to be temporarily installed at TIAA Bank Field to accommodate additional fans during the game. But with less than a week turnaround between the last Jaguars game and the Gator Bowl, those seats couldn't be put in.
We're going to lose $300,000 something. That's how I felt, which is not a good thing.
The association says it lost out on extra ticket sales, parking, concessions, and merchandise revenue. But most importantly, it now has to win back ticket holders for this year's game.
Our patrons were disappointed because we had to move people's seats that have been buying club seats from us for years.
The city and the association worked together to figure out the total cost of the reimbursement. Catlett says this wasn't a money grab by the Gator Bowl at all.
Now, the Gator Bowl Association is a not-for-profit, and the money from the reimbursements will go to the two teams. That's the Tennessee Vols and the Indiana Hoosiers that played in the Gator Bowl. Live from TIAA Bank Field, Eliza Powell, First Coast News on your side.